He's got an excellent resume, a winning attitude, and I say let's give him a shot. What do you say?
Hang on a sec. I think I might want to have a little time just to think it over.
Do you want the job or not, Snack Shack?
There's something worse.
Worse than the roof coming in? What could be worse?
Man, is this it? Am I about to be caved in on, right? And he said, nah, you guys have nothing to worry about. That's just bottom heave.
Hi, welcome back to Comedy Parenting Radio. My name's Jerry Begley. We're up in here Studio B today, and I've got my good friend Stan up here. We're going to be talking about underground stories from mining, coal mining stories today coming up on Comedy Parenting Radio. Welcome, Stan.
Hello.
Glad to have you here. We'll be back in just a moment.
Guess who needs to laugh the most? Your dentist. Day after day, they look into mouths of people with rotten teeth and bad breath. Give your dentist a breath of fresh air by sending them a copy of Dad the Tooth Fairy Didn't Come, and soon they'll be reclining in the chair and you'll be running the drill. To pick up your copy, send $20 check or money order to Tooth Fairy, 400 Prospector Trail, Marble, Colorado, 81623. That's Tooth Fairy, 400 Prospector Trail, Marble, Colorado, 81623. Don't forget, February is Pediatric Dental Month, so give them a reason to smile.
If you're looking for trouble, I'll accommodate you. Otherwise, leave it alone.
You know, people really razzmatazz the green hats, the new hires. They like to give them the business.
They don't have to wear an actual green hat, though, do they?
They are by law required for a whole year to wear a green hat. Serious.
Like greenhorn.
You are totally labeled for a year. Oh, my word.
I don't want to be a miner.
And all the grunt jobs automatically go to you, right?
And you have to wear that hat for a year.
And then you finally get a yellow hat, and then you can start bossing other people around and acting like a big shot. So,
while we're talking hats, do you guys decorate hats once?
Absolutely. Stickers, and they're reflective, and all the mining equipment manufacturers give you free stickers to put on your hat and put on your toolbox.
Customize the thing too. When I was a firefighter, we had our own hats to decorate, and somehow I got a hold of an aluminum metal type hat, and everybody else had the yellow plastic things. And so I got a hold of an old school hat somewhere early on and kept that thing as long as I was a firefighter. But I would have supervisors come up every now and then and say, "You can't wear those things." And I said, Why not? Because they're conductive to electricity.
Oh, that explains a lot. Did you ever come in contact with some electricity?
No,
or it could explain a lot.
Thanks, Stanley.
Did you connect with some voltage?
No, I never did. And I thought to myself, I'm out here in the middle of the woods, with a fire. I don't think there's going to be too many power lines out where we were. But anyway. So.
Aluminum head.
Yeah, aluminum head. So if you see an aluminum hat around, just snag it because it's probably worth something as a historical piece. Anyway, So you guys are back with the green hats. Then we have the yellow hats. This is like a...
And then when you're a big wheel, you're a white hat. And it's yes, sir.
Really?
Yeah.
So it really is sort of like karate or whatever. I mean, you know the pecking order.
Or the president's physical fitness program or something where you have black trunks and gold trunks and green trunks and white trunks.
Okay, so we're back to the pecking order based on hats and the green hats. Wow.
Well, here comes this green hat. And Cropet says, well, I'll give him a good little introduction to the coal mine. He says, buddy, come here. Let me explain to you that we have a problem with bears down in this coal mine. I'm just warning you ahead of time. There's certain places where they hang out. Like, for example, down that one tunnel you see right there. If you go down in that room down in there, sometimes people have seen a bear. He says, if you go down there and you see two eyes glowing at you, you turn around and run. So then Kropitz went down there when nobody was around, and he nailed two little skull can lids to timbers down in the bottom of the mine. And then he told this green hat kid, would you mind going down there and checking on some things for me? You know what? They'll tell you things like, would you go get a bucket of air or whatever? Kid went down there and he came around the corner and there was 2 gleaming circles, and his hair stood up on end and he ran out of there as fast as he could. There's a bear down there. There's a bear.
And the guy was frightened off by skull cans lids. Oh boy,
that's not very nice, is it?
No, it's not. But we got Stanley up here talking about coal mine stories up in the studio. You're listening to Comedy Parenting Radio. We'll be back in just a minute.
Give me A, will you please? That's fine. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to play the Mendelssohn Concerto, which runs 45 minutes.
Okay, it's Comedy Parenting Radio. We're talking about underground stories, coal mine stories with Stan. And you were mentioning hats here before the break. Different colors, greens. You have to wear that for a year. Wow.
I felt so good when I finally got my yellow hat. Oh, I was off the hook. Before that, they just get to belabor you. You know, you're crawling up steep slopes, sweating, packing solid concrete blocks. You know, it's all you can do. And they just love, the more you suffer, the more they love it.
Oh, yeah,
right?
because everybody paid their dues, right?
Right,
yeah,
right.
Yeah, so anything else?
Well, another Jim story.
Okay.
If you've got the patience for this. This is truly ridiculous. But as I'm telling you, coal miners love to pull pranks. So another green hat comes in, and he tells them, now down this tunnel right here, there's a room down there. And, you know, you may have to go down there once in a while and check on things, but really watch your P's and Q's, because sometimes that roof is working. If a roof works, do you hear that? Like a toothpick breaking.
Oh,
click,
yeah.
Click, click,
yeah.
click. If a room works, that means it's thinking about caving in on you. He says, so you really keep your ears open.
Can I guess that you guys didn't wear iPods or anything down there?
Nothing electronic is allowed down there except your light. But so one day he told this kid that's fairly new hire, he said, you know, you need to go down there. We need to check on some things down in that room. So kid goes down in there with his green hat, and he hears a little kind of a crack sound, and he thinks, man, is this it? Am I about to be caved in on? Right? And then the crack gets louder, like that crack, and he goes, man, I'm getting out of here. You know, I'm going to go report this to the superintendent. Right? So he runs up the slope, runs up the tunnel, finds the superintendent. He says, I think we're about to have a cave-in down in the bottom of that mine. The superintendent said, you got to be kidding. That's the safest place in the whole mine. We never had any top working down there. You know, I'm serious. You got to come down. So he goes down there with the superintendent down into this room, and in the darkness, they hear crack like that. And I go, what in the world? And then, of course, you know who's down there, right? Hiding out behind some timbers.
Could not possibly be.
No, there's a little skinny piece of wood called lath.
Yeah.
What is it? Half inch by inch or something kind of stuff. It's real easily broken. So they're both standing there listening, and then crack like that. And the superintendent says, Crow Pets, that's you. I know it is. What shame on you for doing that, right?
So Jim's down there pretending to cave in the mine on the kid.
Well, the kid got a really good introduction to.
Oh my word!
Mining.
Can you imagine just thinking that you're the one to report it? Sort of like the finger in the dike type thing, you know.
Interestingly enough, as nervous as you are about the roof coming in and smashing you, which certainly can happen.
I would think that would be, you would have nightmares about that.
There's something worse.
Worse than the roof coming in? What could be worse?
It's called bottom heave. And when
I
you're
thought that was a medical term.
when you're well, it's also a coal mine term.
Okay.
So when you're down there, that bottom is pushing up more forcefully than the top wants to come down. We had a half a mile of rock over the top of our heads.
Okay.
And we're way up in the mountains, but we're a mile underground.
Mm-hmm.
So we're up you go in the hole at 10,000 feet, but then you go down, 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 down. You're a mile down there. You got a half a mile of mountain over your head.
Okay.
But what made those mountains so tall? It's called tectonics. And it's called mountain building.
Oh.
And the forces that build those mountains are still at work. They did not stop.
They're pushing
So
the mountains
when
up.
I was inspecting in the mine, I could go in a tunnel one night off by, some place where people don't normally go. It's 8 feet high. I could come in there the next night and I'd have to crawl because now it's only 5 feet high.
Oh,
or
for crying out loud.
high. So it'll push up.
Whatever happened to the things you used to see in the movies when you were a kid where, the mine was 100 years old and it was always the same shape? I mean, you walk into things like 8 feet high and
It's always changing.
Oh.
Very dynamic, very freaky.
Wow.
Now I can't remember what I was going to tell you about.
We were talking about tectonic plates and this bottom heave thing.
I'll tell you one quick bottom heave story now that I'm thinking of it. We had an intersection. All the coal comes out of the faces out to this majorly important intersection. And then then the cars get switched out and then they go up this really steep track slope to get out of the mine, right?
Do you have so you're saying the cars get switched out?
No, that's not true. It gets dumped onto a belt. I'm sorry. The belt goes up parallel to the track slope.
Oh, okay. So all these cars are coming to a belt.
So this intersection is crucial to everything. It's as if it were your own heart or something, the heart of the coal mine, so to speak, where everything happens. And we started hearing those funny little clicking noises, the little toothpick noises. And somebody told the superintendent, this thing's going to cave in. And he said, nah, you guys have nothing to worry about. That's just bottom heave. So we all went home that night, and nobody was there, fortunately, when this happened. But that whole intersection caved in 20 feet deep.
Oh, wow.
It just came bang down. And we came in the next day and told the super, the bottom heaved last night. It took a half a year to clean it up.
Did it really?
Just unbelievable amount of rock came down there. Rock boulders as big as cars. Just bang.
Oh, wow.
Well, my friend Pat, I see him every once in a while in Carbondale. He's still around. A lot of these old guys are still around. One time I was standing by Pat down in Mine at Mid-Continent, and he was just leaning there casually smiling at me, and all of a sudden, either the bottom heaved or the top pushed down. I can't even tell you which thing happened. But those big old fat timbers that are holding the roof up snapped like a toothpick.
Oh, my word.
It just went crack. And it used to be straight up and down, and now it looks like an elbow. Oh. And he was standing right there just relaxed. He didn't even seem to care, right? Well, another interesting thing, Jack Edwards told me about this. There was a mountain goat. This goat was fascinated with the coal mine, and particularly he loved the machinery. He was fascinated with the machinery. I can't fathom it. It's hard to imagine how this captured his imagination.
Because they don't have anything else to do up there.
Yeah, that's it. And he fell in love with the maintainer. And
what do you mean the maintainer? The guy that maintains the place?
No. The machine with the big bucket in front.
Okay. So a big piece of
machinery. And he would stand guard over that possessively as if it belonged to him and nobody else was supposed to get near it. And sometimes the operator, it'd take him a long time just to get in the cab because the goat would stand him off and threaten him, wouldn't let him get in the maintainer. One time they came out at the end of the shift and there was the goat lying in the bucket asleep.
You've been listening to Comedy Parenting Radio with Jerry and Stan up here in Studio B, talking about coal mine stories. Hey, Stan, thanks for coming out today.
You're welcome.
And by the way, when you go, you can take that green hat with you.
I think I'll leave that here for you. You might need it.